All right, here we are. This is our the series that I created for the foundations class. I loosely themed it around the idea of transitions, and that being that the time this is happening in real time, it's fall here in Park City, big time where I live. It's beautiful. We're transitioning from a very nice, warm, easy slide into what will be winter. And then just the other day, we did have a couple inches of snow. And now it's warm again, and we're in tank tops. So I don't know. As we transition, there's a lot going on in the outer world, it seems like. And nature has her way of following her rhythm and her cycle, even closer to the equator. I think what gets to happen there is people become more aware of animal migration or just the different way the tides move or the winds or things like that. So there's still this connection to what is happening on an annual basis. And here in the Northern Hemisphere, when we turn inward and we start to pull resources from the outside to the inside, there's a beautiful transition that happens, and nature makes this big show and this big display, and it affects us. And yet we still go a long life with our really fast-paced, hurry-scurry kind of thing that we do as humans. And so let's take a pause. Just close your eyes, drop yourself inward. And just notice that simple act. And for some people, closing the eyes abruptly feels very sharp and somewhat, it's too much. So you might then open the eyes and take a slower inward turn. This inward turn is nimesha. It's a turning inward. And then if you slowly crack the eyes so that you can barely see light, and then crack them a little tiny bit more, and light will start to take pattern. And then just a little tiny bit more, pattern starts to take a little bit of form. And then a little bit more, and form will start to take shape. And so this opening of the eye is called unmesha. So nimesha, unmesha. And we have this pulsation where we get to go in and go out and go in and go out and go in and go out. And this spanda is inherent in all things. It's inherent in the way the stars twinkle and the way your cellular structure works. And it's inherent absolutely in the seasons and the cycles. And it's inherent in the way we practice yoga. So slowly close your eyes yet again. Really enjoy that sensation of upper eyelid getting to rest on lower eyelid. Even more, you'll pratyahara, you'll turn the senses even more inward. So use your next inhalation to call the awareness up through the nose and right behind your eyes. And after a couple of rounds of that sensation where you take the cool and you pull it in, it's almost like you could swallow the awareness a little bit. And so instead of exhaling it back out, which you will, but pull it just downward into your body like you were imbibing it. Like you would savor a sweet sip of something that you love. Draw your hands to the center of your heart. And we're going to take 9 ohms, just really simple. Your ohm, your way at your pace. I'll track 9 for you, but and we'll just roll with that. It's like I call it the sea of ohms, and waves are very much this nimesha umesha experience. So find the wave, find the inward turn and the outward offering. Deep breath in, big breath out. Inhale. Ooh. And now your breath and the pulsation on the inner body might be more felt or known for you. So I'm going to invite you to just take as little energy and awareness as necessary to guide yourself to an all fours shape on your sticky mat. And once you get there, just take your time and fall in love with some flow of cow and cat and find that inward turn, the outward turn. And as you set the foundation, which is in the Anusara yoga practice, it's quintessential. It's the first thing we always attune to, what anchors you down into the earth. And then how do you open up to the flow of breath? And you start to find the rhythm, how there's always one part of you that's folding in even while the other part is folding out. And so in where we are in linking universal principles of alignment is we're pairing inner spiral with outer spiral. And so the cow and the cat is a beautiful way to feel both of those at the same time, as we never do create a one UPA, one principle of alignment, and then just let it go. We build on them. So try to find the cow within the cat tilt, and try to find the cat tilt within the cow tilt. And as you keep the thighs moving back and wide, that's inner spiral through cow. And as you take the tailbone down and under, that's cat tilt, outer spiral. And we want the expansion, the opening, the curve, and the just inward turn to happen before the outward turn, the outer spiral. So if you create curve and expansion, then you have something to contract into. Think of it like that. Now take a downward dog, and you'll find the cow and the cat in your dog pose, just it's a much smaller pulsation. So really feel the rhythm of your feet and your hands. Now that you can see your feet, let the inward turn, the inner spiral, start from that X marks the spot, more from the big toe to the outer ankle. And then the outward turn happens more from the baby toe to the inner ankle. And now we'll step forward when you're ready. Take your time, one footprint at a time. And hear that ocean sound of your breath the whole way. As you fold in, find the expansion within the inward turn. So inner body bright, side bodies long. Steady the feet, hands to hips. Keep the inward turn of the upper thighs from big toe to outer ankle, and then anchor the hips down and rise up. Reach up, touch the sky, and draw that down and into the body. The outward flow opens up, thighs back, even as the heart lifts. And then root the tailbone as you draw the hands down. And now the pulsation's smaller, the thighs and the sit bones still broadening, and the tailbone still connecting and rooting. And inhale, reach up. And we'll take a big swan dive, reaching the hips back and the heart forward. Push through big toe. As you anchor fingertips to the ground, lengthen up and find the cow within the cat here. So you need the curve in the lower back. You need thighs back and wide. And we need to keep the back body full. So now step the left foot back. And this is a general rule, but the back leg needs more of that inward turn. So big toe to big toe to outer ankle, and that'll turn the femur bone in. Now the front leg generally needs more outward turn. So pull the buttocks under and press more from baby toe to inner ankle so that the knee starts to track a little wider. The femur bone turns out. Step forward. Inhale, right leg back. Sink down into a juicy breath. Expansion, more on the back leg, big toe, outer ankle. Roll the femur bone in. Outward turn. Wrap the front buttocks down and really pull from baby toe to inner ankle. Deep breath in, pull the heart forward. And exhale, step forward. Inhale, reach up, touch the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. The tree pose, Vrksasana, is a beautiful way to find some inner spiral. So maybe you root down through both legs, anchor down through your left leg more so that you can lift your right foot up to the inner thigh. And if it doesn't make it to the inner thigh, it could go to the inner knee or down ankle to heel to ankle. So regardless, you want the grounded leg to push in to the lifted foot. That's the first order of business. So just feel that, find that. And then right where that front pocket is on your left leg, push it back and really find the big toe outer heel of that same foot. Now the lifted leg, contract the buttocks down and under so much that you feel the baby toe edge of that lifted foot anchor to the source point. Arms out and up. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Now there will be some pulsation in your foot. So my suggestion is anchor down from inner knee to big toe. Inner knee to big toe. Inner knee to big toe. And with inhale, we open. And with exhale, we turn in and set it down. Reach up, touch the sky. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, side bodies long. Plant your hands, plank pose. Inward turn, downward dog. Even the index fingers and the thumb root down, and that will roll the forearms more in so that you can then outward turn the upper arm. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Breathe deeply into the back body as you rise up. And exhale, downward dog. Let's take 3 to 5 breaths here in dog pose, and you get to contemplate. So the inward turn of the mind in contemplation. What do you notice? How can you play with Nimesha Umesha? Please step forward when you're ready. Set the feet, deepen your breath, and rise all the way up. As you anchor down, pull inward and root through right leg. Set the gaze down so it's there for you, holding you. And as you're ready, left leg lifts, find your connection point, and then don't let go until that grounded leg is pushing to the lifted foot. Once you find that, inner knee to big toe, thighs back and wide. Lifted leg, outer hip rolls down. And then from the knee, push into the baby toe. Baby toe to inner heel. Anchoring, anchoring, anchoring. And then rise. Deep breath. Deeper breath. And deepest breath. Present for the outward turn. Open up. And from expansion, we can draw inward and set it down. Follow that flow, reach up, touch the sky. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, open. Exhale, turn inward to plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, dog. Stick with the breath, plank pose. And stay full in the back body, even as you lower. Push through index finger and thumb as you rise up. Inhale. And exhale, dog. When you lift the left leg, you really want to lift from inward spiral. So lead from the inside seam and the big toe of your left leg so that the hip stays square to the ground. On your exhale, you can step it as far forward as your breath will allow in your body. If you need to take 2 or 3 steps to get that foot forward, that's what you do. Turn the back heel, that's an outward turn. Left forearm to thigh, right hand to hip. Bow inward and really push from big toe to outer ankle so that back leg finds more of that inward spiral. Maintain that and now build on it. Baby toe to inner heel of the front leg as you wrap the buttocks on the front leg under. Now reach and lift, right arm. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, lifting warrior two. And if you need a block for triangle, set it behind your ankle. Magnetize the feet to midline and exaggerate the inward spiral of the back leg as you exaggerate outer spiral of the front leg until that front kneecap tracks towards second or third and fourth toe. Yeah, inhale, open. Push down through the bottom end of your back foot as you take triangle. Deep breath in. Now we'll take a few breaths to refine and just find the spanda. Inward turn of triangle pose, an outward turn, and keep the leg line and then open the heart. All right. Inhale, come to a lunge. And we'll take 2 blocks under both hands. And I turn so that I hope you can see my front left hip. Now, if you take an inner spiral both legs, that'll push the upper thigh bones more to your left. Try to push the back leg bone to the right as you roll the front buttocks more under. And that should track the knee a little wider, pulling that front buttocks down and under. Set the back heel. Bring your right hand to your hip. This is an important moment where we need a lot of contraction to transition from side angle to half moon. So we need that front buttocks to keep the contraction, and it's hard. So I want you to use a block for now. Step the back foot partway forward and then roll the front buttocks even more underneath so that that baby toe is really active to inner ankle. Set the block a little further forward. Use the outer buttocks as you extend the left leg. Pull that outer buttocks down towards your baby toe. Pull the baby toe towards the inner ankle. And the back leg lifts in half moon. The lifted leg is the back leg. It needs more of that inward spiral. So turn the lifted big toe a little more towards the floor. Now, as you come back down, focus on outer spiral, the front leg. Keep that baby toe to inner ankle really active. Keep the buttocks wrapping down as you set your foot behind you. Pull the front leg to straight, triangle pose. And now enjoy some breath in a relatively easier pose than half moon. Inhale and wind, come to a lunge. Inward spiral, back leg, outward spiral of front leg. Downward dog. Catch up with your breath. When you're ready, the inhale to plank. The exhale to chaturanga. And the inhale to cobra. And the exhale, dog pose. Leading with inner spiral, right leg high. And take as many steps as you need to get that foot forward. Turning left heel to the floor, right forearm to your thigh. As you take the left hand to your hip, pause in the inward turn, stay in the bow, and really push big toe, outer heel of back leg. Maintain that and pull baby toe to inner heel of front leg and start to wrap that buttocks under, and that will lift the heart and let that outward turn happen more naturally. Inhale, rise up. Find the inward turn and the outward turn. Inward more on back leg, outward turn on front leg as you straighten the right leg. Lift up into your heart, deep breath. And dive in, triangle pose. Few breaths here. Find what feels good. Inhale, unwind, come to a lunge. Now exaggerate the inward spiral of the front leg. Push the hips back and wide like cow tilt to your right. Both legs need both. The back leg needs more inner spiral. So broaden the femur bone of your left leg to the left as you pull the front buttocks down and under. Reset the back foot. So it's your hips turn out. Take the block on your right hand. Left hand to your hip. One short step partway forward, but radically pull the front buttocks down and under. And then reach the hand further. Major outward turn of that front leg from baby toe to inner ankle as you lift up. Spread your toes on both feet. And the lifted leg needs more inward spiral. Turn the big toe down. And maybe that left arm reaches. Slow it down in reverse as you set the back foot almost down, really focus, outward spiral of front leg, and then reach back, triangle. Inhale, unwind, and exhale, downward dog. Walk forward, standing forward fold. Let's take your 2 blocks on high right in front of you and come up halfway. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll combine tree pose with half moon to triangle pose. Let's see what happens. So set the foundation, reaching through left leg, lift up through the right, tree pose. And less verbal instructions and you getting to intuit and feel which is going to be the back leg and which is the front leg. Interestingly, they're going to shift because right now the standing leg would be more of the back leg and the front bent leg is more like the front leg. So more inner spiral, more outer spiral. As soon as we take half moon, that's going to change. So pull the right leg in and then become aware of how much outer spiral you need as you open up to a half moon. Nice. Looking to the back of your mat, use outer spiral to lower and then inner spiral for that back leg and triangle. Right hand to hip, big outer spiral as you bend the front knee and transition back into your half moon. Some of you will need to ground the right foot and come back into tree that way. Others will find it interesting to come from half moon and up into tree pose. as a balance. Whatever path you needed, honor it. Transitions take time. It's an inward awareness and an outward offering. Set the right foot down and notice that left foot's kind of crampy. Shake it out. Big breath, open to what's flowing through you. And I like to feel how much more grounded one leg is than the other in this moment. And now we take the other side as a transition towards balance. So anchor through right leg, find your breath and let it hold you the whole way. Which leg needs more inward spiral? Right leg. Which leg needs more outward spiral? Honor that. Find the sweet pulsations within. And from this big outward offering, we're ready for a more inward transition. Pull in. And then let the outward turn of the grounded leg help you find half moon. Big breath. Don't let go of the breath. Which leg needs more inward spiral? Lifted leg. Maintain that inward spiral as you use outer spiral to lower and find triangle. Deep breath. Nice. It's helpful to lower the extended left arm, but not necessary. If you need more balance, the arm comes down and you can do that as you bend the front knee. So it's more of an inward turn. Now use outer spiral to return to your half moon. Turn on the toes of your lifted left leg. And stay present for the transition for yourself. So I did the balance variation the first time. This time I'll do the not balance version. I'll take an inward turn to a forward fold and then rise it up. Whatever way you got there. As we release tree pose called Vrksasana, honor it. Ooh, and set it down. Shake out the legs. And give yourself a breath in Tadasana, mountain pose. Find that closing of the eye. I think I got the Nimesha, Unmesha mixed up. Turn yourself inward. Big breath in. Keep the eyes closed as you lift your arms up. Keep the eyes closed and fold forward. And now you're really going to tune into your feet. We'll take a 3-breath stay here in our forward fold. Reflect on your practice, reflect on what you notice, reflect on how transitions are everywhere. And from this deep inward turn, we open up the opening of the eyes and then step back to dog. Inhale to the knees. Exhale, child's pose. we're in a big, beautiful transition, moving from Libra season to Scorpio season. From that which is really interested in how to bring balance and fairness to that which goes much more subterranean, much more inward. So, how would you like to make the transition into the season ahead where it's really indicated by nature that going inside a little more contemplative, a little more quiet? How would you like to find that for yourself? Knowing that all the while you still get to balance your outward life and show up for the people you love and your jobs and your hobbies. Please bring your hands by your knees. Maintain the closing of the eyes. You lift your head and your heart and find a seat. If you need a blanket under your hips or blocks under your outer thighs to support the seat, find that now. And we'll take the inward turn of both femur bones and sit bones, called inner spiral, with hands back and wide. Let your hands rest down on your legs, palms down. And we'll take a really special mudra, one that I love dearly. It's called Adhi Mudra, ADHI, where you wrap your thumbs inside your fingers, like a little soft fist. Adhi Mudra. A very grounding mudra. It's one that you can call upon when you need to soothe, tone, calm the nervous system. And just take a few more breaths to really drop down into the root chakra, the pelvic floor. And you can keep Adi Mudra and just place the soft fists closer towards your heels and the inner thighs and the pubic bone. And it'll help further root you down into yourself. So you start to pull all of you down into what roots you in embodiment. Let your energy settle like sand in an hourglass. Let it pull down and into itself. And try to stay connected to the anchor. Brings you and your body into connection with the earth, and take it way down subterranean into the earth. Maintain that deep, deep inward turn as you bring your hands to heart center, the fingers gently pointing outward away from the heart. And we'll just really enjoy the opening of the eye. So start to crack the eyes just barely, 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 so that you really only can start to perceive the external source of light. From there, the eyes open just a tiny bit more, so light starts to take pattern. Soften the energy around your eyes, the muscles around your eyes. And the eyes a tiny bit more, so pattern starts to take form. And in the tantric practice, we are projecting everything from our conscious awareness, our inward flow of all that is, and letting it move out to create the external world. So the eyes open, form will take shape, and it's shaped by you and your inward landscape. So we'll do an Om with the eyes open. Deep breath in. Soft breath out. Inhale. Ooh. Namaste. Thank you. Have a gorgeous rest of your day. May your inward turn hope you to your biggest delight, and may that in turn light the path.